Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful CEO. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, joined by your other co-host.
The other co-host, that's me. The other coast.
You should say your name for all those who don't know you.
Oh yes, the other. Well, it's not the other co-host. My wife usually calls me the other co-host.
A
Aaron.
little cumbersome.
It's Aaron Hendon, the other
Hello,
co-host.
Aaron Handon.
Yes. Um, and we were just laughing because I'm such an idiot, and we wanted to. We were talking about intuition and um how to tap into it and why tap into it, and I'm only I'm retrofitting something like I think had we tapped into uh, intuition, I would have avoided the scenario that I find myself in because I'll just share the story. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So over the weekend, my wife left and went up with a friend to one of the San Juans and left her car at her friend's house in Capitol Hill, and the car got towed over the weekend. Right? A whole set of circumstances there that have nothing to do with me. But the car got towed, and she didn't know it till Sunday. Which, on one hand, Chris, that's a really interesting phenomena where a lack of intuition is useful, because had the car been towed and she realized somewhere on the weekend that she had done the thing she did to
Sure.
get the car towed,
Yeah.
right? Um, it would have ruined it would have upset the weekend. I don't know,
Yeah.
ruined the weekend, right? But given
Yeah.
that
Right.
she had
Right.
just tuned out the entire thing and it wasn't until she got back on Sunday she was like, "Oh yeah, I left the car there. That was really dumb." Um, but that's an interesting utility of a lack of intuition. But we're talking about the other side. I don't even know that that's a lack of intuition. We should explore that in a minute. Um, but I went to get the car because it's in my name, so I had to go to the impound lot and get the car. So I show up yesterday and I get there and pay for it, whole thing, $300. And she says, "Okay, well, we'll open the gate. You can go in the back and get the car." And I said, "Okay, well, where are the keys?" I said it out loud, like, "Where are the keys?" I didn't say it to
Uh-huh.
myself. I said it to her.
Uh-huh.
And as I'm saying the words, as they're coming out of my mouth, I'm realizing the same thing she's about to tell me, which is, we towed the car. We don't have the keys. You are the person that needs to have the
Yeah.
keys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am not the person who actually has the keys at this moment. And I'm
That's awesome.
deeply embarrassed about this situation. That
This is not a small trip for you, by the way. You're on
oh,
Vashon. You've got
I
to take
had
a
to leave
ferry. You got
Ashland.
to go up to
Yeah, this was
Capitol Hill. Yeah.
yeah, it's an hour and a half. And yeah, so, and it's already
Which is relevant because you think like if you're going to make the trip,
yeah,
you're going to think like, what do I need to do? What's the stuff? You're like
that's right. That's right.
you're
This is not,
autopilot,
and so
man.
we're talking about this from the perspective of intuition,
Yeah.
because this was not, the keys were sitting out there on the counter and I forgot them. This wasn't,
Uh-huh.
I knew I
Right,
needed
right.
the keys. This wasn't, I forgot the keys.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the keys. The necessity of keys was a blind spot for me. It was not
Mm,
something I thought about. It was not something that I
right, right.
thought I need. It just didn't, it wasn't, it not like I thought about the keys and then I thought, well, no, I don't fucking need them. That wasn't it. And it wasn't like
Right.
I thought about the keys and I thought, oh, I do need them. And then I
Yeah.
show up and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to grab them.
All right.
None of that.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is just none of it. Just like not in my
Yeah.
consciousness, not in my conscious mind in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, yeah.
Did having an ID was in my conscious mind. I knew I needed ID,
All right.
right? I knew I needed a credit card to pay for it,
Uh-huh.
right? Um, but there was nothing in my consciousness about needing keys until I said it out loud
Mm.
to her, and she looked at me like, "Okay, I have really bad news for you." Um,
Oh man.
and I don't know if it's true, but she said this happens all the time. So she either was trying to make me feel better, or everyone, or more than one person suffers from this lack of forethought. And so it's thinking of we're looking at, okay, well, what kills intuition? Because I'm just gonna, this is a complete story I'm making up. I don't have any evidence for this. I just if I'm just I don't even know that it feels true. It's just I'm using it as an example because I'd like it to be true. And that is somewhere intuitively, I knew to get the keys. And I was so tuned out to my intuition that it never showed up. That somewhere
Hmm.
in the universal consciousness, the idea that I needed keys existed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. This isn't like I got blindsided by some unforeseeable set of circumstances.
Right.
This was a very foreseeable set of circumstances. This was imminently knowable. That as soon as I tell people, they like, yeah, of course you need the keys. Although I'm not 100% convinced that other people wouldn't find myself in this position. Everyone knows by the time I tell them the story, they're like, yeah, yeah, we know where the story is going. Of course you need the keys, you dumbass.
That's
But I
hilarious.
don't. Anyway, I'm taking the supposition that needing keys was in fact a knowable phenomenon, and that had I slowed down, I would have seen that. So we are looking at, okay, well, what are the conditions that kill intuitive responses, and what are the conditions that nurture intuitive responses? It's sort of where we were, what we were dwelling in. And one of those is slowing down is a condition in which intuitive responses are increased. You increase the likelihood of
Yeah.
intuition. And in fact, you know, Chris was asking about it in sports gaming,
Right.
right? This,
Yeah.
things are happening quickly.
Yeah.
But in every one of those cases, a player that excels is said to be able to slow the game down. That's how it's described.
Right.
The game slows down for them. That's
That's
slowing
right. That's how
down.
it's experienced. Yeah.
That's how it's experienced, and that's how it's
Yeah.
communicated.
Yeah.
And that is, the way that is that people, you slow down. And that slowing down, I mean, is a condition in which intuitive responses is increased. The likelihood of your being able to respond intuitively, or to be able to respond to information that's coming to you through something other than your rational mind, which is what we call intuitive responses.
Yeah.
Information that you get not through rational thinking, but through
Yeah.
whatever other space in your body receives that, your right hemisphere, through your gut. That that's an increase. That slowing down is an opportunity to increase that information. What were the other detriments to intuition? Is already knowing. I was looking at this thing with the keys. Like, I already knew what I needed. I stopped looking. I wasn't curious. I had no, you know,
Yeah.
there was no curiosity expressed on my part for, okay, what's needed here,
Yeah. Right.
right?
We al- we also said resignation, cynicism
Yeah,
can
cynicism.
dismiss your intuition.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's not going to matter. That's not real, right?
Right. Right. That's a dumb
That's
idea.
bullshit,
That's yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
right?
Right.
So those things are,
And you
and
could look at the opposite of those as access to, like,
right,
if wonder, curiosity was the opposite of resignation or cynicism, you'd be like, okay, yeah, when I'm in a state when there's wonder present,
right,
intuition has it has a chance. I'm really interested, and hopefully we can get to the interoception. Is that what it's called?
yeah.
Interoception? Because I think that's really interesting scientifically, what's happening somatically, et cetera. I don't know if you want to tackle that now, but I hope we go there because I think,
Well, I don't have a huge background in it. I mean, all I know is that what I found in writing How to Live a Grateful Life in a Fucked Up World, when I was writing about body scans, one of the pieces of information that came up was Andrew Huberman's work on interoception, which I
Yeah.
think I'm saying correctly, although if I'm not, someone can use that as an opportunity to correct me, which would be,
Just Google it, people.
I swear to God,
Huberman
the best way to get it.
interoception.
But look, you know as well as I do, when we're sending out business emails, the best way to get a response is to put a spelling error in there.
Nice.
You
That's
put
so
some kind of
funny.
grammatical or spelling error in your email, and
Yeah,
people fucking respond.
that's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It's hilarious, but it is as reliable as dropping a pen and will hit the ground. It's just reliable. Um.
It
Oh,
doesn't
so
matter
anyway,
if,
so
yeah,
interoception.
yeah, yeah,
Um. Uh. Interoception is the body's the is like a gut response. Is the body's interpretive ability beyond just your ears. So where your ears hear vibrate, your
yeah,
ears take vibrations and they translate them in a way in which your rational brain, your left hemisphere, will interpret those the information it gets from the vibration your ears pick up,
yep.
and it'll interpret that into a meaningful something, to some sort of
Sound.
rational
Yeah.
thought language.
Hmm.
um, your right brain is doing that from vibrations that other parts of your body are picking up,
Yeah.
that we call that your gut. But you know, you walk into a room and it feels tense. No one
Right.
said anything, but you can
Right. No
feel the
sound. Yeah.
tension or you could feel the joy.
Sure. Right.
Those two experiences are very, very real.
Yeah.
They're not rationally explained because there's no language. The left brain has nothing about it,
Yeah.
but the right brain is clearly picking up on something
Right.
that's as real as
Right.
language, which is more real than language because language is only decorative in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
that's interoception.
And I love it because it speaks to the vibration. If that's why I liked it, because you were talking about, I wonder if, how listening is picking up vibrations of sound. Does our body pick up other vibrations and interpret them, and as a connection to um intuition? And I think that's just really, so it speaks to, and now let's move the conversation to like things like practices or conditions. There's conditions that can either enhance intuition or block intuition. So cluttered spaces, visual noise, things that I'm so preoccupied with the surroundings around me that I can't, I'm not receiving, or I'm not hearing the vibrations through interoception. I'm not picking it up. And you had said maybe, before you went to go get your car, could you have done 3 minutes of mindfulness? Yeah, yes, and also uh, so you had some speed. Maybe there's speed in it. I got to get out of the house. Got to catch the ferry. I got to do whatever. There was some speed that kills intuition. But you could also say there. You said maybe your house is more cluttered than normal, and you could say that clutter has got in the way of having this. So the point is, there are conditions around us that can be blocking what your
Mhm.
right hemisphere is trying to communicate to you through intuition. Did I say that all right? Or
Yeah, I think you said that well. I think that's accurate. I think there's, I mean, first I forgot that, our eyes pick up vibrations as well,
yeah, right.
right? And again, those get interpreted
Hmm.
uh, through the left hemisphere rationally into
Yeah,
the left hemisphere is categorizing that.
right.
Um, and then there's this opposite. So yeah, I mean the less, which is why mindfulness makes such a difference here, because you're now decreasing the level of noise
Yeah,
that's
right.
happening in your head at all times, whether you're meditating or not. You've fundamentally decreased the volume of the left brain, right? The more you meditate, the quieter that gets and stays,
Yeah.
right? The more the game slows down for you.
Hmm.
The game of
Right.
life slows down for you, allows you to see more, hear more, feel more,
Yeah.
and tap into that level of intuition. And yeah, I was saying it's a practice. Okay, if I were to take 3 minutes before I left the house, obviously I can't go back in time, and I don't know that I would have missed this or not missed it. but it does seem like there was an opportunity there.
Mhm.
If I'm committed, I'd have to get committed to, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would make me take 3 minutes to go do something as mundane, to visualize something mundane as picking up the car. Although I've never done it before, so there's
I,
no reason why I would consider it mundane. It's literally the first time in my life I've ever had a car towed and had to go
right.
do it. So
Right.
there's nothing ordinary about it. But my relationship to it is it's ordinary. Um,
I don't know that right. Like you saying, oh, you know what I should do right now is I should get present to like, what am I missing? We don't, if you lived your whole life every second being like, oh, I got to take 3 minutes. You spent 24 hours every day taking 3 minutes to think, what am I not seeing? What am I missing? I'm afraid of my blind spots. That's not, I think what the opportunity here is to open space for the right hemisphere to be communicate to pick up the two intuitive things that you didn't need to. I guess we can tackle this multiple ways. Yes, you could say I'm gonna go on a trip. I'm gonna take a quest up to Seattle, and it's gonna take me some time. So what am I not seeing? Let me just get present for a minute, and you could do that. But another option is just having other practices like you keep your spaces clean. You have I don't know. There are other things where you're allowing your intuition to speak freely
mhm.
without having to set aside time to do it. Because to our point from a last podcast or last two, the whole no self, no problem, what's it called?
Yeah.
No self, no problem.
Yeah.
In that book where he's saying like the right hemisphere is always and already doing its thing. It's
Right.
already,
Yeah. The same degree the left brain is.
yeah, but
It's
yeah. And that's why having practices allow give the left brain a puppy so the right brain can, be heard.
mhm.
It's already communicating.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. So I do think there's the general conditional practices, the practices that continually create the environmental conditions.
Yeah.
Clean space, clear calendar, you know, empty
Clear
inbox,
thoughts.
right?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Right.
Like
Right. Right.
you've dealt with the clutter to the point where you've got some space.
Dude, it's not uncommon for people, especially in business, I think, to have a to-do list a mile long, right? Like that's clutter. Like you're holding. How many sticky notes do you have? How many notes do you have? How many things on
Right.
your to-do list? Like what is your practice for minimizing? Not that that stuff has to go away or you have to turn a blind eye to it, but how do you put that somewhere? How do you put
Yeah,
it in a parking lot
right. Well,
so
that's
it's
the
not
promise of
consuming?
right. Well, that's the promise of mission control, of the time
Mm,
management, mission control work that
mm,
I love. Have you ever done that?
uh-uh.
All right. So the premise behind mission control is
Hmm,
you are never going to get it all done.
mm-hmm.
You're never going to get it all done, and you first of all are raised in an environment, a culture where you are expecting to get it all done.
Yeah,
You're never going to read all the books you're supposed to read or you want to
right.
read. You're literally never going to get everything there is to get done. You're just never, it's an ever. So, and mission,
Mm,
and in the work in the course, when you do it, it's a weekend. Um, you actually write out all the things until you get the mountain that it is of all the things that you have to do and handle. From, rereading Ulysses to getting the oil changed in the car to
uh,
redoing the bathroom to,
right.
you're just not going to get it all done. You're just not going to get it all done. So when you get that you're not going to
Mm,
get it all done, then it leaves you with this space of, um well, what am I going to do with all the stuff that I have that I want to get done? Because it's just that you are pointing to, it's that crushing weight of that stuff that I'm supposed to do, the to-do list a mile long.
right.
Right. Okay. No, the to-do list is bullshit. Let's not do a to-do list. Here's what you want to, here's what you're going to do. First of all, you're going to operate from, if it's not in your calendar, it's not going to happen, right? Gary Keller 101, right? Bold 101.
Yep.
It's not in your
Yep. Yep.
calendar, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
So everything goes in your calendar, and everything is in your calendar in an occasion to get it done. So whatever it is that you think there is to do and handle, it's got to go in your calendar or it's not going to get done.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. So if there's anything, I mean, time with your kids, breakfast, shopping, dishes, there's got to be a time in your calendar for that to happen, or it's not going to happen. That's the first space. Okay. Then there's, okay, well, I'm not going to get everything in my calendar. I have more to do than is going to get in my calendar. I'm never going to get it all done. So what do I do with the stuff that's not going to get done? So you get one list called your not doing now list.
Uh-huh.
And that's a list of things that you do want to do, but you're not scheduling them. So you're not doing them now. They're just not going to get done now. And everyone who's expecting you to do those things knows they're not getting done now. Why are they not getting done now? Because they're not in your calendar. So you tell everyone, look, I know that I said I was, going to paint the house, but I am not scheduling that. It's not going to get done right now.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to happen.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there's a third list, a second list, or really a third list, because you got your calendar, not a to-do list. You got your calendar. You got the things that aren't in your calendar, but you want to hold them somewhere. So every week or so, you look at that list and go, okay, is there anything on the not doing now list that I'm willing to schedule?
Yep.
Right. And then there's a never doing now list. Those are things that you're never going to schedule. That's like rereading Ulysses.
Right.
Right. Getting to Portugal, whatever. And you can look at that list every month, every quarter, and go, okay, is there anything on the never doing now list that I actually do want to take on? Because if not, then it lives there, but it's not a to-do list. It's a never doing list. It's it's out of my head. It's in a list. It exists. I don't have to think about it because it's already there, declared. So it's a way of mentally organizing and clearing the space. We're talking about getting mental clarity about it. The only thing I have to do, this is Werner's, one of my favorite pieces from the Power to Create courses. All there is to do today is what there is to do today. And that's all there is to do today is what there is to do today. You don't have to worry about any of that other stuff because the only thing you're going to do today is the stuff you do today. You're not going to do anything you don't do today. Anything that gets done today is what got done today, and nothing that you didn't do today was to do today because you didn't do it today. That space of clarity about that is really, really, really potent. And keeping things organized that way, that if it helps with the mental clarity, we're talking about, that mental space. Right.
So there's it makes me think of part of your premise. When people have agency, the world will change. I mean, there's a choice here. There's a choice to choose what are you going to do, and a choice to choose all the things that you're not going to. But if you don't make the choice,
that's right,
then it all collapses, and there's too much noise to hear anything.
Well, it also feeds into, besides the noise, right? If you don't make the choice, a lot of people, so there's the space of, I'm not going to choose. I'm just overwhelmed. There's just all this shit that needs to get done. I'm not going to do it. Then there's also the noise of, and it's not really so much noise as it is just a complete and total abdication of agency, which is, I'm not doing it because I don't have the time to do it, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is, if you're going to live that way, I don't, I can't help you. No one can help you. If you're going to live like what you do is a function of the time that there is, you don't have any more or less time than anyone else.
Right.
You're just not going to make the time for it. You're not going to schedule it. Fine.
Yeah.
Not a fucking problem. Don't schedule it. But that's you not scheduling it. People say that all the time to me, like, we should do lunch. And I will literally say to them, I would love that. And I am not going to schedule that. I'm just not going to schedule that right now. I would love to, and I would love to, but not enough to schedule it.
Right.
So let's not pretend that we're going to do it. Just be disingenuous. It would put mental clutter in my space. It would
Right.
put something in my space.
Right.
Right. Oh, decision. Oh my God, this was that decision over decision fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. This
Uh-huh.
fits
Yeah.
into that
Right.
conversation
Yeah.
too.
Right. Yeah.
The Zuckerberg only wears
Right.
hoodies
Black shirt.
and
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
and
Gary Keller only wears black shirts and jeans.
that's it.
Yeah.
And decision fatigue is a way
Yeah.
of managing that mental clutter, which we're connecting back to, bring the cottywomple back home,
Yeah. Yeah. Bring it home, man.
right? To our ability to tap into what else is being communicated by the universe
Yeah.
that we wouldn't be able to hear if we had this other mental clutter. If I had to
Right.
decide about what to wear every single day,
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I tried the wearing the same thing every day thing for a couple of years. And it got
Just cramp your
it
style.
just got boring. It just was like not that interesting to me. So I don't spend a ton of time on it, but I spend whatever time I spend on it. Anyway, right before we hit
it. Yeah. Yeah. The button, the record button.
The record button, you were talking about
segment intending.
So let me see if I can tee it up.
Yep.
I was suggesting that before endeavoring off island for me, but before endeavoring into a day, taking just positing 3 minutes, don't know if that's the right amount of time or not, but it's a palatable amount of time for sure. To just open myself up to, okay, well, what is needed in this space? What's my intention for the day?
Yeah.
What is it that the universe wants to tell me? And I'm sort of in the background of this, so hoping that the universe would have said to me, bring your fucking keys, you moron. But I don't know that to be true.
Maybe it did.
And I just couldn't hear it. Right.
Yeah.
That's this
right.
thing. And then you said that sounds like segment intending. And I was like, well, what's that?
Yeah. So Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, there's a book called Ask and It Is Given. It's one, I think they've written a couple books. It's one of their books. And in the back of that book, there are like 24 or 4, I can't remember how many. There's a bunch of practices that in a sense, open you up to receiving, open you up to, you've already asked and it's already on its way, but you're not receiving. So one of the practices is what they call segment intending, which is if you thought about your calendar, your life is made up of segments. And I'm about to step into the next segment. I don't do this, by the way, all the time. Like jumping on a call with you on Tuesdays to record a podcast. That's a segment of my life. And here it is. It's in my calendar. And I could just jump on, or I could take a moment and say, what is my intention for this next segment? I'm about to enter something. Let me just get present and intend something for the next segment. It's like you're saying, take 3 minutes before going to get your car from Seattle and do a body scan or do a intention or just listen. But that's segment intending, right? As they describe it. And that's a practice.
Right. That's interesting. That's good. That's just to go back to mission control. One of the pieces I forgot to talk about there, and it seems like it's connected, is when you put things in your calendar, you don't put them in as to-dos. You put them in as to what's the intention that just got fulfilled. So
nice.
Right. Chris and I have created the most compelling, I've created a episode of the Mindful CEO that garners national attention because it made such a difference in people's performance and intuition. Beautiful. So now when I see it in my calendar, I don't see another thing to do. I see, what are we intending here? So before you put it in the calendar, you do that thinking.
That's great. Right? I love that. Yeah.
Right. Which I always felt goofy to me. And I never really did that when I took on mission control.
Interesting.
It's just too left brainy. It's too right brainy for me. But now that I'm saying it out loud here, I'm like, oh, if I tapped in before, like, okay, what's the intention here? Not really. I mean, I had it like, pick up car, right?
Pick up car, right?
Which even that could have been a cue to get the key. Like,
Sure.
you need to pick up a car, right?
Right, 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 right.
You need keys,
Yeah.
right? I
Unless you drive a Tesla, and then you can use your Tesla app on your
I'm
phone.
trying to think of how that lived in my calendar. Hang on a second. I just want to go look and see what I wrote yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, I wrote get car.
Get car. Which you totally, I mean, even the language of it sounds like I'm gonna pick it up and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
grab it.
get the car. I'm gonna get the
I'm
car.
gonna get it. And you
They
went to go get it, just like
they
you went to
were
get your
willing to give it
groceries.
to me too. They were willing to give it to me. They were like, "Here it is. Go get
Intention
it.
fulfilled. Yeah, except
Go get
except you
it."
couldn't drive it back. You went to get it, but you couldn't drive it. That's too
So
funny.
yeah, speed kills. There's just another,
Yeah,
I'm too fast in putting that in my calendar. It's too
yeah,
fast about that.
yeah,
Slowing down and going,
yeah,
go, what's the intention here?
yeah.
Drive the car back.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's some good if we started to wrap it with like the utility of it, because I really like that we've been starting to ask that question lately, which I really like. Like, what's the utility of these thoughts? Because in mindfulness and CEO-ness, there's a lot of ultimately it's going to come back to the bottom line of I'm not just pontificating to pontificate. Like, there's something I'm trying to create in the world, and I want to know the utility of meditation. I want to know the utility of
Yeah,
intuition.
it's good, Chris, because I never think about the utility of cleaning my office.
Mm,
You know, I
hmm
don't do it until the office gets into such a condition
mm, mm,
that it
mhm.
becomes detrimental to even the base level workability.
Right, right. I can't
Right. Like
find my contract. I can't
I can't
find
I
I can't
don't
find
have
my
right. Like I can't
hmm
like it's again, it's also lowering my tolerance for unworkability. That's the
mm,
other space of cleaning, emptying my
mm,
inboxes
right.
is lowering this unworkability around me,
Mm,
creating more space for workability, creating
right.
more space for intuition, which I really like the idea of creating more space for intuition,
Hmm.
which is the utility of meditation in the first place, is it creates more space for workability, creates more space
Right.
for being able to hear what consciousness has to offer me in this moment, or what, if you were going to go back to Abraham Hicks, go back to what source, what's the information source has for me about this that I haven't heard.
Mm, hmm. Right.
That'd be a good that'd be a good prompt for the 3 minutes I take before I go do something. It's okay. What's the information source has for me about this?
Yeah.
And then just quieting the rational mind until source shows up with something.
Yeah.
Be interesting. It's an
Yeah.
interesting practice. Okay, we can end with that practice.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you if you take that on, what opens up for you about that. This is not something that we've done before. So I don't know what it's going to open up for me about that,
Yeah.
but I could see taking that on. What's the information source has for me before I do this that would make this easier, more effective, and more productive? What's the information that source has for me that would make this action the most effective, most productive action?
Yeah. And it's almost the practice of it in the beginning. I feel like your left brain is going to want to answer that, but
Yes, totally.
the practice of it is going to allow over time the right brain to sort of start to communicate and contribute to that
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah. What information is my left brain missing?
Yeah. And then not being so CEO about it that you have to have a brilliant answer. Oh, I just got a download of what it is, like
Right.
like uh
Yeah.
because I
Take
can be
that.
very task oriented like that sometimes. Like I
Right.
asked the question, now what's the answer? Damn it, give me the answer.
Right.
But beautiful. Love it. Okay, well let's put a pin in that, gang. Go practice that.
Yeah. Great. All right. And then the next cohort of How to Live a Grateful Life in a Fucked Up World, really tapping into your intuition. It's very much about tapping into your intuition. It starts on September 3rd. You can
That's
register for
yeah,
that at the Grateful
it's coming
Breath.
up. Yep.
thegratefulbreath.com or the Realtor's Edge if you want an afternoon version of that. You can do
Yeah.
it from there.
Good. Love it. And those links are in the show notes, everybody. So do that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you're listening to this on a podcast directory, you know what? Do us a solid and give us a review and a rating there. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, people. Thank you for hanging out with us in this episode. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.